The girl often suffers from nightmares. The nuns at St. Catherine's Asylum believe there's a demon inside her, so they ask the girl to go into a warehouse and choose items that conceal the demon. But every time the girl touches an item, she sees the greatest fear of its owner, demons that feed on human fear, cultists who cruelly sacrifice their wives and children, and even the cross of Jesus inverted. What exactly does the demon inside the girl fear? This is an Argentine horror film, Father. Nolan receives a commission to exorcise the girl, Anna. After going into the tunnel where the target is hiding, Nolan takes out a cross right away. He wants to finish quickly and go home for dinner. Unexpectedly, the demon this time is powerful unusually, killing Nolan in just 2.5 seconds. Later, Father Benji learns of the incident, and his strength is even less than Nolan's. Benji takes Anna to seek help from an expert, and they then arrive at a St. Catherine's Asylum. It has a profound cultural heritage, and is said to have been the preaching ground of the 12 holy nuns. The nuns here are all senior exorcists, with both strength and appearance at the top of the industry. Benji introduces Anna's basic situation. Anna is an orphan who later lived in a foster family. For a few days, she was kidnapped, missing for 7 months, and taken to perform an evil satanic ritual. The local priest Nolan received the news and went to exorcise her, but failed. After hearing this, the nun asks Anna to stay in the asylum, and Benji leaves first. At night, the nun takes Anna to the prepared room. Seeing that the other party is very nervous, the nun comforts her not to be afraid, saying they are experts in exorcism, and ordinary demons are no match for them. But Anna still feels an underlying unease. After falling asleep, she dreams of the demon possessing her. She trembles and begs it not to come, but unexpectedly, the demon disappears. The next day, the nuns are going to exorcise Anna, and they blindfold her with a black cloth. She also says this is the unique exorcism method of a St. Catherine's Asylum. After going into the warehouse filled with various items, she is told to touch the items on the shelves. These items belong to people who were once possessed by demons. If the demon inside Anna reacts strongly to any item, it means the demon fears that item. At that time, the item should be taken out, so that the nuns can use it to suppress the demon. But the moment she touches an item, Anna will see the most terrifying past of the item's owner, and feel as if she is there. But everything is illusory. She must rely on willpower to confront the inner fear. After explaining the precautions, Anna goes into the dim warehouse. Following the instructions, she first touches a mirror. The moment she takes the mirror, Anna goes into the world of Lucy, the mirror's owner. It's 1 minute before midnight, yet Lucy's mother is still knitting and watching TV. After a minute, Lucy turns her head in fear, only to find nothing behind her. She asks her mother if she has noticed anything unusual. There seems to be something strange staring at her from behind the sofa, and this feeling has lasted for many days. The most terrifying thing is that the thing in the dark deliberately lets people know its existence. The feeling makes Lucy feel suffocated, and she can't move for a long time each time. After hearing this, the mother turns her head and sees nothing. She tells her daughter not to joke in the middle of the night, but Lucy's brows are furrowed with fear. The mother confesses that she also had this feeling when she was young. When she asked for help when afraid, no one was willing to believe her. Later, one day, she found a book in a relative's bookshelf introducing supernatural creatures. She opened the book and found that there's a terrifying creature in the world that likes to feed on human fear. The more the prey fears, the stronger it becomes, and it looks for opportunities to occupy the prey's body. Luckily, the book records a solution, that is, to perform a ritual. The mother did it according to what was written in the book, and she never felt anything unusual after that. In order to get rid of the thing staring at her, Lucy also held a ritual. Lucy lit a candle in the room, held a mirror and chanted a spell. At first, only a gust of wind blew, and Lucy continued to chant the spell bravely. The mirror is flung away and shatters into pieces, while the surrounding candles silently go out. Lucy is so frightened that she hurries to pick up the mirror, only to turn around and see her mother floating toward her. She asks what her mother is doing, and her mother leans into her ear and says, "You're free." Suddenly a sharp pain strikes, and Lucy finds that her mother has stabbed through her stomach, wearing a very sinister smile. But the next second, Lucy wakes up from the dream with a start. She pants heavily and hurriedly checks her stomach. Luckily, there's only a stain of blood on her clothes. She gets up and goes out to find her mother, only to see the house pitch black. She takes a self-defense hammer to the living room, and sees her mother sitting on the sofa. with strange snowflakes flickering on the TV. Lucy keeps calling her, but her mother ignores her, as if frozen in place by something. Just then, her mother's voice comes from the TV, scaring Lucy into rushing forward to shout. But the snowflakes quickly turn into terrifying patterns, and in reality, Lucy has long been dead. Her mother's body was already possessed, and now Lucy's body belongs to them too. The awful experience makes Anna unable to help vomiting scarlet blood. She stands the fear and touches the next item, being drawn into the perspective of a pregnant woman named Linda. Linda tries to struggle but to no avail. At this point, someone goes into the room. The man is Linda's husband and a cultist, who has locked his wife here for several days. Linda thought he was going to let her out, but her husband picks up a pillow and holds it against her head. He wants to sacrifice his wife to the demon. Soon Linda stops struggling. When the man prepares for the next step, the feigning dead wife kicks him in the head. This angers the man, who takes out a dagger from a box, cuts open his wife's stomach, takes out the baby, and places it in the box, treating the child as a sacrifice. After finishing, the man doesn't plan to spare Linda either, stabbing her multiple times until she's riddled with holes. The demon actually hears the call and comes behind him. But it asks the man to prove his loyalty. The man doesn't hesitate to kill himself. The demon comes to Linda contentedly, and helps take out another child from her womb. The experience is so real that Anna hurriedly takes off her blindfold, and the ritual is forced to stop. At night, Anna is sleeping in bed and dreams of being in the tunnel again. Nolan comes to save her, but is killed by the demon with one blow. Watching this horrifying scene, Anna wakes up with a start. She sees a nun sitting by the bed, who says that each nun at a St. Catherine's asylum has a special ability. She has the power of precognition, and can see the visions others see when touching them. If possible, I can help find what's troubling Anna. Anna nods upon hearing this. The nun takes off her gloves and holds her hand. The nun is so scared that she rushes to find the Mother Superior, saying she has never felt such an evil presence, and the demon inside Anna is definitely no ordinary one. But the other party doesn't believe it, saying, if there were a powerful demon, I would have felt it already. So what's possessing Anna should just be a minor demon. These irresponsible words make the nun angry. She shouts, an evil force is attacking the school, and our students' abilities have been problematic recently. This must be the cause. Anna absolutely can't stay here anymore. But the Mother Superior thinks she's worrying unnecessarily, saying, the ritual must continue. The next day, Anna's second exorcism ceremony begins. Just like before, she is blindfolded, and then goes into the warehouse to select items. She first touches a key by feeling, and is quickly drawn into the perspective of an old priest. On the way, the priest looks at a photo of his daughter, when she was a child, then knocks on the employer's door. After walking in, he asks the man what the situation is. The man says that about a month ago, his gentle wife suddenly changed her temperament drastically and became very violent, obviously possessed by something evil. After hearing this, the priest says he needs to see the situation first, before exorcising with the power of God. But before going through the door, he first mentions his charging standard and kindly gives a 20% discount. The man says money doesn't matter, the important thing is to cure the person. After both parties confirm there is no problem, the priest asks the man to help get something. As soon as the man leaves, he takes out an electric shock device, and installs it on the woman's hand, then covers the quilt and pretends nothing happened. When the man brings the thing, the priest pretends to pray, but actually steps on the electric shock device secretly. When the woman on the bed stops moving, the priest says the demon has been driven away, and takes out a bottle of bath water, lying that it's holy water. Feeding the woman for 7 days will cure her. The man hurries to get the money, and the priest takes the opportunity to put away the device. But in a trance, he actually hears a cry for help, so he quickly pulls back the quilt to check. He finds that the woman has been awake, and is begging the priest to save her. The priest, who is about to get the money, doesn't want to meddle and is preparing to run away. But here's the woman play the emotional card. She says that it's her husband, who is really possessed by the demon, who not only attacked his own son, but also wants to send her to hell now. The priest says nothing and goes out to look for the man. After coming to the kitchen, the man says that in order to thank him, he wants to invite him to have a meal at home. The priest feels embarrassed and reminds the man that he should still take his wife to the hospital. Maybe she has mental illness, but the man insists that his wife is possessed. by a demon. Now that she is still talking nonsense, it proves that the exorcism failed, but he doesn't want to default on the debt, so he takes out an envelope with money. He also asks the priest if he has children at home. The priest replies that he has a daughter, and the man doesn't continue speaking, but in fact, the priest still feels compassion. He steals the key from the man, and goes to the woman's room to help her regain freedom. But when preparing to escape, they are stopped by the man with a knife. The priest hurries forward to soothe his emotions, seizes the knife, and says he feels sorry that the man lost his child, but there's still a long life ahead. The man actually says he has no children at all. After speaking, he rushes to his wife, and is stabbed in the kidney by her in one blow. Taking this opportunity, the priest supports the woman and runs out. When passing the kitchen, he sees a familiar figure, the man chopping vegetables size that when facing good and evil. The priest actually chooses the side of evil, and even cheats while claiming to believe in Allah. Realizing he encountered a ghost, the priest is frightened and runs to find the woman. Seeing she is still in the same appearance as when they first met, he musters courage to lift the quilt, only to find his daughter lying in bed. Before figuring out the situation, the woman appears behind him. The priest begs her to spare his daughter, but in the blink of an eye, both his daughter and the woman disappear. Frightened, he runs out of the bedroom, finds the man's body on the ground, and runs to open the door to leave. This exorcism ceremony makes Anna foam at the mouth, and faint on the ground, but she still fails to find anything. That triggers a reaction from the demon inside her. At night, she kneels on the ground and prays piously, but always hears the demon's whispers. She raises her head trembling. The next second, Anna's consciousness returns to the tunnel, unlike before. The one laughing wildly on top of Nolan is actually her. It turns out that the demon seized control of her body at that time and killed Nolan with Anna's body. The next day, the nuns ask Anna to enter the warehouse to find items again. This time, Anna touches a cross necklace, and its owner is named Danny. She cheated with her best friend's husband after getting married. She thought this would never be known. But during a gathering with her best friends, one of them was saying a pre-meal prayer, when a woman suddenly opened her eyes, and shouted that something was wrong. She felt her husband was cheating. These words frightened Danny so much that she dare not breathe, thinking this is too strange. But she isn't lying either. She confesses that her husband hasn't touched her recently, and there's the perfume smell of another woman on his clothes. Hearing her best friend speak with evidence, Danny drops the bowl on the ground. She is so embarrassed that she hurries to the kitchen to clean up, constantly muttering prayers for Allah's forgiveness. Just then, the baby's cry suddenly comes from the nursery. Danny rushes to soothe the child but finds the crib empty. She hurries downstairs to look for the child, and asks her best friends where the baby is. They say the child is safe, but want to have a good talk with Danny. One of them says they can see Danny's recent state is very wrong and wants to know what happened. If it's because she resents her husband being away for a long time. After speaking, they ask her to confess to Allah. Danny asks if doing so will return the child to her. After getting an affirmative answer, she repents piously right away and confesses her sins. She shouldn't resent her husband who works hard outside to make money, and sometimes takes out her anger on the child. This makes best friend Angela furious. She asks if Danny has no other sins. Danny denies it right away. Angela takes out a cross necklace, saying she found it in her husband's pocket, and this is Danny's necklace. With conclusive evidence now, the best friends say nothing more, but ask Danny to repent according to the book. But things quickly go wrong. The eldest Mary puts her hand on Danny's head. It's fine at first, but she suddenly says Danny is possessed by a demon, asks others to hold Danny down, slaps her twice herself, and then asks Angela to take out a belt for exorcism. Angela is reluctant at first, but when she thinks that the man she likes is now betraying her with her best friend, Angela is really ready to act. Just then, John steps forward and says, Allah doesn't seem to exorcise demons in this way. Danny seizes the opportunity to break free, then searches for the child with John in the house. Unexpectedly, the others' temperaments change drastically. Seeing John helping Danny, they knock him to the ground, and Mary even gives a hard kick. Then they go into Danny's room. Just when it seems they are obsessed, Mary lifts the quilt and sees Danny with multiple legs. Anna walks out of the warehouse, and the nun takes off her blindfold, only to find Anna's eyeballs have been gouged out somehow. The nun with precognition is flipping through ancient books, and finds the demon possessing Anna is Elismir. This old guy is called the Lord of Chains, and he's also the guardian of the gates of hell. Since he guards the gate, he must have some background. What's worse, the book says that, if the cross that binds it to the mortal world is broken, Elismir will be completely free. Thinking that there seems to be a cross in the warehouse, she suddenly feels that something is wrong. Anna has quickly recovered from her eye injury, and is ready to explore the warehouse again. After going into, Anna picks up a tie, and finds a family of 3 anxiously sitting on the sofa waiting. The son also asks his mother worriedly, will the priest come? As soon as the words are spoken, someone rings the doorbell. The woman hurries to meet him, and brings the priest to her husband and son, saying that her daughter's behavior has been very strange recently, spitting, swearing, smashing things when unhappy, and even injuring her brother, as if possessed by a demon. But this priest is a bit special. He says that most of the stories about demon possession on the market are fake news. Most of the time, it's a psychological problem of the child, and sometimes it's a mental problem. But the woman insists that her daughter is possessed by a demon, and it's better to see the situation first. But the priest finds that the girl is perfectly normal, but just in case, he takes out his phone to search for exorcism spells, and holds up a Jesus cross to exorcise. After reading for a long time with no response, the priest is convinced that the girl isn't possessed by a demon at all, so he scolds the people behind him for playing a prank with this matter. But just then, the girl suddenly says sorry, and then the cross on the wall is inverted, and a lot of blood flow out. It turns out that except for the little girl, everyone else in this family is a demon. After that, the girl's mother carries the priest's tie out of the house, and throws it into the trash can in the warehouse. Anna hears someone call her from behind, takes off her blindfold and looks around. She comes to a giant cross. At the same time, the nun who knows something is wrong finds the Mother Superior, and says the demon inside Anna is very powerful, and there are indeed things in the warehouse that can release the demon. As soon as she finishes speaking, Anna comes out holding the cross, and crashes it against the floor crazily. The nun understands that the demon wants to destroy the cross, and tries to wake up Anna, whose body has been occupied by the demon, but is choked by an invisible hand. But the nuns of St. Catherine's Asylum are still powerful. Even in this situation, they can slowly move their bodies, come to Anna, control her, and ask other nuns to hurry up to complete the exorcism, and seal the demon and Anna into the cross. Other nuns quickly lift the cross, place it above Anna and chant spells. After a few minutes of battle, Anna falls into a coma. It seems that the demon has been sealed into the cross. The next day, Father Benji comes to pick up Anna and brings good news, saying he has found Anna's aunt. Hearing that she still has relatives in the world, Anna happily says goodbye to the nuns. But in the warehouse that no one pays attention to, the cross-sealing Elismir seems to have some problems. Could it be that the demon has escaped? The film ends here. Putting so many short segments in one movie is generally quite attractive, especially the story of Danny's infidelity. I really thought the best friend group was possessed by demons, otherwise why would they attack indiscriminately? Finally, there's directly a cheating monster, which no one expected. This sudden twist is unexpected. There's also the story of the demon punishing the liar, which is equally profound, obviously not a priest, but pretending to be a priest to cheat, and even thinking of using an electric shock device to deceive people, which is simply disgusting. Finally, he also receives the due punishment. But these stories are all too short, starting and ending in a hurry. Before you can react, the next one starts, giving people a feeling that they haven't seen enough. And the setting of St. Catherine's Asylum itself has a strong religious color. In the traditional understanding of Catholicism, the asylum is often a sacred place that provides shelter for those in need, representing compassion and salvation. But in the movie, this asylum has become a breeding ground for horror, full of unknown dangers and evil forces. This subversion of traditional religious imagery implies the challenges and alienation that religious beliefs may face in the real world. If you like my channel, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to it.